1 week on from Libya's devastating floods, the UN is warning about 2 more dams in the east that could burst near Benghazi. The UN's humanitarian office says the dams are under massive pressure after torrential rains. Local authorities say both dams are in good condition. Residents in Derna say similar warnings went unheeded for years before 2 dams ruptured last week, releasing a wall of water that swept whole neighbourhoods out to sea. The World Health Organization says nearly 4,000 people have been counted dead. 9,000 are still missing. The aid effort is gathering pace.
A week after the flooding, crews race to clear whatever carnage the ocean returns to the coastline of Derna. And bodies continue to wash up on the shore. Catastrophic floodwaters ripped through the city, sweeping everything in its path out to sea. Locals tell terrifying stories of survival. This man says his family only survived because they managed to cling to a drainage pipe. His wife sifts through what's left of their home, trying to salvage whatever she can. She describes the moment the floodwaters swept through their house.
I saw death with my own eyes. I saw my family about to die in front of me.
Large-scale aid has begun to arrive. This French facility is just one of several being built. But many say what's most needed now is psychological support for the victims. Locals are not sure whether they should stay or leave Derna.
We still don't know anything. We're hearing rumors. Some are trying to reassure us, others are saying you need to leave the city. We have no water or resources here.
With so much death, authorities are concerned about the risk of disease and infection, underscoring how important the cleanup operation is for the entire region.
Let's bring in Anas El-Gomati, a Libyan political analyst. What's your take on how the aftermath has been handled so far?
It's been chaotic, in fact. I mean, there is a lack of coordination. There has been a suffocation of local voices and dissenting voices and critical voices that are either trying to better improve the aid situation or criticizing the local authorities. I mean, you know, the surveillance state in Libya, they're monitoring civilians and dissidents. They fail to monitor the dams that have broken over the city of Derna. It's testimony to Libyan governance. It's almost as if authoritarianism has come at the expense of Libyan lives.
What about these warnings that we're hearing from the UN about 2 other dams that could potentially burst?
Well, again, it's another grim testament to the authorities in eastern Libya. I mean, you know, the UN has to play the alarm. The UN is now warning about these 2 dams, the Jaza and Qatara dam. I mean, they are also, you know, creaking and have been creaking for many years now. No one has called the alarm on that. It's almost coming at the end now. And, you know, when the lights kind of turn off on Derna, where will they shine next? And that's the big danger here, is that this is no longer a game that can be played. We can't sing Kumbaya about Libyans coming together. It's a beautiful testimony to the fact that all the Libyan people themselves have come from west and east and south, but their authorities are drastically failing them. This should not be the case today. The international community needs to take control of this situation, and they need to ask the local authorities, the Libyan National Army, that is more interested in suffocating journalists and blocking them for 2 days whilst they get vetted by intelligence, than getting the stories of their citizens out and getting international aid in.
What about the information that we've been receiving and broadcasting? It's been a week since floods, and that death toll continues to fluctuate. Could you explain that?
Well, you know, there are 3 different groups really on the ground. There is the Faza group, the groups that have come from across Libya, an explosion of national sentiment, Libyan scouts, Libyans of all walks of life. There are the Libyan Red Crescent that is operating there, and then there is the Libyan National Army. The Libyan National Army obviously is in control of the situation, and some of it is chaos because there are so many different groups unable to coordinate very well with each other. And I think some of it is camouflage. We've seen that the Libyan National Army does not want scrutiny of the numbers, doesn't want to be able to have to take responsibility. We've seen deep fakes of the local council's mayor emerging on television, Sky News Arabia, claiming that he gave the alarm and that he gave the alarm to his citizens and evacuated them when, this was easily proven to be false. So while some of it is chaos, I think a lot of it is camouflage, and it's testament again, a grim testament again to the moral fibre of Libya's political elite.
Well, residents have told us on camera that there were no evacuation orders. What about the aid effort, though? You describe the aftermath as being hectic, but from what I've read, people there in Libya have been uniting in ensuring that aid is getting through.
Well, they're uniting and trying to deliver that aid, but once it gets out of the west of Libya or the south of Libya or other parts of eastern Libya, it is then in the control of the Libyan National Army. And there are unconfirmed reports, I should mention, that some aid, like generators, for example, have been stolen. There is talk of prices being fluctuated across parts of Derna. There are reports that it can't even get into eastern Libya. I spoke to someone with family yesterday in the east of Derna who said that her home had collapsed in the aftermath. She still hadn't received any help, no shelter, no food, no clothes. So the reality is that it's grim. I don't think it's time to pat I think it's a good thing, and it's a testament to the fact that all Libyans of from all walks of life, whatever uniforms or non-uniforms they're wearing, they're risking their lives. We heard that there was a search and rescue teams that tragically died yesterday on the road towards Derna. Tells you a bit more about the coordination and the chaos that is happening there. But this is about a race against time to save more lives. It's about a race against time to make sure that the displaced, almost 40,000 of those citizens, are also not fearful of their life for calling the alarm. It's about the residents of Benghazi, the biggest city in Cyrenaica in eastern Libya, also not fearing for their lives in Wadi Qatara. It's a major, major problem now. If the lights turn off on Derna and remain dark on Benghazi, then the next tragedy could take place. So I think we should be critical, and constructively so. But the LNA in itself and the local authorities in eastern Libya have proven themselves to be criminally negligent, incompetent. This divided political chaos that we've seen from an unappointed government in the West and an unappointed government in the East, this all has to stop. The political paralysis of the last 10 years, the neglect over the last 50, is what led us to this case. And the next 5 days are going to be crucial as well, because if this governance doesn't change, then more lives are lost and more lives are at risk.
The conflict of some 11 years has really left its mark. Those insights there from Anas El Khomati, Libyan political analyst. Thank you.
Thank you.